The stars will shine on Broadway in tonight's game 2. Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, all the drama already. Did the Knicks choke in game 1, or are the Pacers just this good at late plot twists? They got 3 wins when trailing by 7+ points in the fourth quarter or overtime this postseason. Now, the man, Tyrese Halliburton, coming off back-to-back 30-point games for the second time in his postseason career. And with another such game tonight, he would tie Reggie Miller for the longest 30-point streak in Pacers postseason history. Our NBA analyst, Tim Legler, is with us in studio. It is a big game if Tim Legler is with us. It's good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
All right, New York, they lost a 17-point lead in regulation. Then they lost the game in overtime. So what adjustments do the Knicks need to do to win this game tonight?
I think the first thing, you need to understand your opponent in this regard. This is a team that's just not going to stop with their offensive pressure. They keep coming no matter what the circumstances. I think Indiana's proven that throughout. Now, the good sign for the Knicks, for the most part, they did what they wanted to do offensively in this game, really, for about 45 minutes. I thought the last 3 minutes, a lot of it was obviously elite shot making on the part of the Pacers, but some of it with the Knicks, I thought attacking too quickly. They didn't eat up enough time in that moment. I thought they kind of were waiting for the clock to run out. You can't do that against the Pacers. Good news, your offense was great. Bad news, you didn't understand your opponent. You're going to have to kill to keep them down. And that's who the Indiana Pacers are. That's what their offense is. And that's what the Knicks have to understand. No matter what the circumstances, Indiana's going to play until the final horn.
The elite shot making of those Pacers got them back in that thing with down 9 with less than a minute to go. As far as this evening goes, they're once again underdogs at MSG. How do they find themselves with another comeback win?
I think the one thing they're going to have to do, they haven't proven yet, is that they can guard the Knicks' 2 stars. Karl-Anthony Towns lit them up in the regular season. He had a big night the other night. Jalen Brunson went for 40+. So they haven't really proven yet that they can slow those guys down. I think that is the challenge for Rick Carlisle. When they go look at the film, I think they need to incorporate more blitzes on Jalen Brunson, take the ball out of his hands a little bit more. You got to be more discretionary about your switches. You can't just act like just anybody we have is allowed to be on Jalen Brunson after a switch. There are certain guys he's going to target and he's going to eat alive. And I think they've got to be much more careful with how they approach him. So if Indiana wants to go up 2-0 and take a commanding lead in this series, they're going to have to control Jalen Brunson, because if Brunson goes off again, I don't think you're going to have the same result that you had the other night.
They've had 3 straight 2-0 leads over the course of the early series of this postseason. They are 9-0 when they go up 2-0, so New York better watch out in that instance.
Indeed. Okay, all right. The Thunder, Tim, dominating the Western Conference Finals. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander showing why he's MVP. 38 points in Game 2, and OKC coasting past the Wolves to go up 2-0. SGA has 9 30-point games this postseason, 2 off the team record. Game 2 was Oklahoma City's 60th win by double digits this season when combining the regular season and the playoffs. That ties the 2016-2017 Warriors for the most in a season in NBA history, including the playoffs. The Warriors team, or that Warriors team, went 16-1 in the postseason en route to winning the NBA title. So OKC going on the road for the next couple of days. They look for the sweep. They're 6 games away from winning it all.
Yeah.
6 games. How can they go into Minnesota and grab a win tomorrow?
Well, I think they need to look at the first 2 games and ask themselves, what's Minnesota going to try to do to adjust? And I think one of the things that's going to happen in Minnesota in Game 3, Anthony Edwards is going to try to incorporate that deep shot, right? The step back going to his left off the dribble for 3. He hasn't really been willing to pull the trigger on that shot in this series. The ankle may be bothering him. It might have something to do with it. It's a huge part of what he was in the regular season, because he can go on these scoring bursts when that shot is there. OKC's defense needs to make sure that doesn't happen. Continue to dare the role players of Minnesota to take 3-point shots. They have not really gotten it going yet. If they do, then you can adjust to that. And then look, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander needs to just be himself. I thought he worked for everything he got in Game 1. Game 2, it looked pretty easy. Let's see what the adjustment is to him on the part of Minnesota. OKC, the bottom line, I'm watching that game the other night, and I'm saying the amount of mental and physical stamina you have to play that team, they just wear you down defensively, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wears you down on the other end because you can't contain them.
They come at you in waves, too.
Oh, totally. Yeah. They hit you with those bursts.
On the other side of this thing, Timberwolves find themselves headed back home, down 2-0 in the series. What exactly can they do to adjust and bounce back in this series?
First and foremost, you got to figure out what happened with Julius Randle the other night. I mean, he cannot be guarded that effectively by smaller defenders. They were fronting him in the post the entire night. with smaller guys. And he just continued to wrestle with them. The number of entry passes they tried to make that were not successful. Eventually, Julius Randle seemed like he just got so frustrated he was completely taken out of the game, to the point they didn't play him in the fourth quarter. Julius Randle is the guy they've got to get going. There's got to be some action they can create to give him more advantageous positions against smaller guys. That's one thing. Secondly, Anthony Edwards, as I just mentioned, that deep shot has to be there for him. It's what makes him a dual threat. It what makes you have to guard him differently in the perimeter, and now that explosiveness gets to the rim. And then finally, the supporting cast. They were non-existent shooting the three in game one, better in game two. But the key for me, and maybe the tipping point for their team, is Naz Reid. This is a guy that was Sixth Man of the Year 2 years ago. He could have won it this year. Big factor for them in the postseason. He has missed, I think, 14 straight three-point shots. Naz Reid has to have his fingerprints on Game 3 for them to win.
Former Sixth Man of the Year, got to come ready to play. You can catch this one tomorrow on ABC. Game 3 at 8:30 Eastern. As Anthony Edwards says, bring your expletive. Tim Legler, we appreciate it.
Don't get fined for that. Game 2. And late game comebacks, nothing new for the Pacers this postseason. Let's go back to the first round. Game 5. Indiana forcing 2 turnovers in the final 29 seconds of OT, closing OT on an 8-0 run. Tyrese Halliburton's layup with 1 second remaining clinches the series. On to the next round. Game 2 against the Cavaliers. Indiana again closing on an 8-0 run to win the playoff game. This time over the final 48 seconds of regulation. Hallie knocks down a go-ahead 3 with 1.1 seconds remaining to seal the 1-point win. And then 2 nights ago in Game 2, the Pacers rallying from 17 down in the fourth to shock the Knicks at MSG. Halliburton gets the friendly bounce, the very friendly bounce, to tie the game at the buzzer. The Pacers hold on to win by 3 in overtime. And they couldn't have done it without that man right there, Aaron Nesmith, in Game 1. His 8 threes in that win are the most in a playoff game in Pacers history. On the scene at MSG, NBA reporter Jamal Collier. Jamal, you have a new story out on ESPN.com on Tyrese Halliburton. What can you tell us about his journey to growing comfortable in the clutch?
Jay, it really goes back to a few years ago in February 2022 when he was traded to Indiana. He credited, they gave him the ball in those clutch situations and allowed him to find some success. And he really credited, as a man who knows the thing too about some clutch situations, Shaquille O'Neal joins me here.
Shaq, leave that man alone.
Halliburton said that he had a chance.
Continue, don't get nervous.
Halliburton knows moments had a chance to get some reps going out. And Shaquille O'Neal, Hall of Famer, joins me here tonight. But Jay, he had a chance to get reps in the clutch, performing in those situations. And really that kind of gave him a chance, to be comfortable in performing here. He's 10 of 12 this season, last 2 minutes with a chance to take the lead or tie the score. That is the best since we started tracking that data going back to the 90s. Halliburton, his teammates trust him. He's been so good in these situations all playoffs.
Jamal, I think you should walk over and give Shaq a piece of your mind right now. Tell him how he just can't do that to you while you're on ESPN trying to do your live shot. Don't let that happen. Go ahead. We'll wait. Go ahead.
We'll see it inside the NBA later tonight if you get between him and Chuck later on.
That's right. That's my man, Jamal. Take that. Okay, we can see how clutch that Halliburton has been. What's he saying about, flipping the whole mindset thing this season?
Yeah, and Jay, I had a conversation with Halliburton earlier this playoffs where he told me this was the toughest season of his basketball career. And that goes back a year ago. He got hurt in the conference finals last year. He heard the stories of people wondering if the Indiana Pacers were a fluke getting that far. He goes to the Olympics. He doesn't really play. Jason Tatum got the headlines for not playing in those time, but Halliburton played significantly less than Tatum did. It really kind of, was an ego check for Halliburton, a guy who really thrives on external motivations and clapping back at people. And he said he was very eager coming into this season to really prove people wrong, prove the doubters wrong. And those just external pressures really started to weigh on him in a way that he said basketball was not fun for him early in the season. He had to take a break during the All-Star break, and he's really began to recapture that joy that you see on the court and that the Indiana Pacers really have in him. They've got a lot of faith in him as a ball player. They were really reinforcing that when he was down, and you can see it now.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we noticed that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.